share out the live this morning with some of my friends. Hopefully we have the sound and glitchiness fixed. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay as you join in. Let me know if the connection is good. I am trying to get us going over here on YouTube really quick. Can you hear okay? Can you hear me? And is the connection good? Okay, cool. Very, very good. I think I fixed something. I got rid of Twitch. We don't really need to be on Twitch, so decided to get rid of them. Let me do something here. Oh. Waiting on Christina Carroll to join us. Hey, there you are. Let me invite you up here. And trying to get this going. Trying to get YouTube going. It's a new way of me doing YouTube, so I am not used to it.
Hi, Crystal.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday. Let me turn you up so I can hear better. Oh, yeah, that was way down low. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let me get YouTube going really quick here if I can. This technology stuff is just too much. I'm just gonna say.
As somebody who is also technologically not advanced, I get it.
Okay, I think that I can just. Oh, thank you so much. I think I just start streaming. Let's see if I got it to work real quick. Gonna check my YouTubes out over on my iPad. You also have to have 40 million things, like a phone and a computer and an iPad and a this and a that. And it's like, stop. Just stop. I don't need any more things.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm live or not. I don't know. If I'm not, I'm not. What could I do? Huh. Well, I was hoping I would be. What you hear next to me would be my husband.
Just threw it out.
Making noise. Okay, so here's how this works. As people are coming in, I'm going to tell you how we do this is first, I have some questions, just some little icebreaker questions. I call them, oh, thank you. I call them my hard-hitting journalist questions. And then we'll invite people to come up and talk to you and ask you questions. And I also have a game for us to play called Divine or Decline, where I'll quote to you something, and if it's from the Bible, you'll tell me it's divine. If it's not from the Bible, it'll be decline.
Okay.
So
I'm more nervous about this than I am about any going live myself.
I get nervous sometimes before a show, like just all of a sudden randomly. And for some reason, I was really nervous with Zena May. And today I feel a little relaxed. But last night I went and plugged Joel and Mezzo will be on tomorrow night with me. Mm-hmm. And I was on Joel's live and I went to plug it. And they decided to practice being on my show. I thought that was so funny. So that was adorable, watching them practice being on Crystal's show. Of course, like the first thing Mezzo asked Joel was, how big is it?
Oh, no.
And Joel's like, I don't think anybody's going to ask me that. And Mezzo's like,
no one's going to ask that.
But you have to be ready, you know?
You're ready, so you don't have to get ready. That's the rule.
Okay, here's my hard-hitting journalistic questions. If you could swap lives with any fictional character for a day, who would it be and why?
God, any fictional character? No, that is a challenging question. Well, a lot of people won't even know who this is because I don't know if you all have read the book, but there's an author named Tomi Adeyemi, and she is the author of this really great collection called Children of Blood and Bone. And it deals a lot with it's a mystical world of magic it's a mystical world of magic and Black people with superpowers, and that's right up my alley. And her name is ZLE. She is the main character of that, and she's absolutely.
Now, but I might have to go read the books now and find out who they
Yes.
are. I love books of every genre, and so
Mm-hmm.
I just love good books, especially a series, because then you get
Yes.
to read the next one right away and stuff.
3 books, and it actually turned into a movie.
Mine is boring, and it's just so typical. Okay, but I would be Pippi Longstocking. Don't I kind of look like a Pippi Longstocking? And
You're
then
adorable,
I
yes.
could do all those crazy adventures that she used to do. And I just say that because when I was a little girl, I did want to be Pippi Longstocking. I was like,
I remember being called Pippi Longstocking, but I don't remember much about the character herself. Like my mom used to put her hair in pigtails. That's why it was, it was weird. I don't know what the thing was.
Yeah. Whenever
Yeah.
you wore braided pigtails, because she always had these braids sticking out. Hey, thank you, Zena May, and thank you for the Raiders. We appreciate it. You guys be ready to come up and ask Christina Carol your questions. Oh, thank you also, by the way, for all the gifts. I do see you. I just don't want to interrupt my guests to thank you guys, but I do appreciate the gifts, the shares. I am trying to get to 50 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, please do so today. It's less than a cup of coffee a month. You're subscribed on Netflix, Hulu, and Cornhub because we've seen your browser, and it's not pretty. So why don't you cancel some of those subscriptions and then save yourself money and subscribe to creators like myself and like Christina Carol, where you get more bang for your buck, okay? So, okay, next question. What's a totally useless talent or skill you have that you secretly love?
I don't know. I've done it on Joel's Live before, but I don't think it goes over. Like, it's really, really cool to me. And it's not even a real talent, I don't think. It's just a voice that I do. But I like doing voices because I'm weird. And I don't know.
We need to hear the voice.
It's easier for me to do it when no one's looking.
turn your camera off real quick. Oh, by the way, nobody on YouTube can see you. Well, because I'm not on YouTube, I guess, today. So.
It's just, I don't know. I used to love watching the Muppet Babies, and I would try and mimic the way that they sounded. So I would, it's so dumb, and I'm so embarrassed. I'm mortified. But anyway, let me turn my camera off, and I'll try and do it because you guys cannot actually see my face while I'm doing this. But okay, so there's a first thing to do, and I make myself it's a Muppet voice. I don't know.
Oh my God, I love it. I love the Muppet Babies too. That's amazing.
Useless.
I do love voices too.
Useless.
Voices, I think voices though in general are not useless because I use them all the time too. Actually, I was talking to my daughter-in-law and my son the other day about all the things I used to do to my kids that I think are hilarious now. I used to make them have dinner where you could not talk unless you said your statement in a question. So you would have to you couldn't say, hand me the butter. You would have to say, can I have the butter, please? And then if you wanted to have a conversation, I would be like, so how was your day? Are you asking me? So everything had to be a reply in a question.
Don't invite me to
I don't
dinner.
know why I did that. It was fun. We laughed a lot because we'd be like, you didn't do it. I also used to walk around and sing like a priest.
How do you sing like a priest? How? I did the Muppet
Wait, let me try to think of something to say. Okay, let me do your first question. If you could swap lives with any fictional character for day, who would it be and why? And so when my kids got older, when your kids get older and they become adults, and you've got a good relationship with them, they'll do things like go out drinking and then call you and say, Mom, sing like a priest. Because they're out drinking, telling stories about their mom, and now they're like, yeah, I'll show you. My mom sings like a priest. I don't know why I did those things. Voices are cool. They're fun.
They're fun.
So I did not tell you my talent is that not that I can sing like a priest. That's not the talent. Okay, I'm just
you did very well.
Multi-talented. It's that I can float, just float. Like I just don't need to tread water or anything. I just float.
You're buoyant?
Yes. And I always have been. I've been a very buoyant person my whole life. And it was like something too that just didn't dawn on me that other people couldn't do it for a really long time. I remember one time snorkeling with my husband and he was like, okay, we have to go back now. And I was like, why? Like, what? And he was like, babe, I can't float. And I'm like, oh, you're getting tired. I'm sorry, because I don't have to tread water or anything. It's just a weird thing. But what I like to do is I have a swimming pool. So if I have guests over for the first time, I bet them that I can float on my back longer than them.
Oh, damn it. Please keep it, folk. Got it, Crystal.
Yeah. I bet you $20.
I bet you $20 and you earned it.
If you could have a pet that doesn't typically live in a house, what would you choose?
A pet that doesn't live in the none.
No, I don't want a wild animal in my house.
I don't want domestic animals in my house, Crystal. I had a cat. Okay, I've had a dog. I don't want anything else in my house. If it's not a person. Oh, I would have the bear. Yes, I would have a bear. Also, yes, I would have the bear. The bear is allowed, but outside of that, no. And it would have to be specifically El Oso raised bear. That's it. No other wild animals.
Okay. Well, I already have cats and a dog and one of those lizards. I don't know what they are because my daughter and her fiance live with us, but that's enough. I don't want any wild animals. No, it just doesn't sound fun to me, and I don't want any more pets. Or one cat was cool with me and one dog, but no more.
I had a cat.
Okay.
You had to be one.
What's the most ridiculous or funny thing you've ever believed as a kid?
I don't know. I think I guess I would say Jesus, but
I know, but that's so easy to go to. There's got to have been other.
It's so easy to go to now. Like now that I can add it to like the fairy tale things that I used to believe. I guess Santa. I don't know. I think
to me it's the Easter Bunny, because what the fuck is that? A bunny fucking brings eggs? What does that egg have to do with a bunny? Like, it's so dumb. And then I believe that shit after I stopped believing in Santa. Santa is at least a human, not a fucking animal walking around passing out chocolate and eggs. That is the dumbest thing that we tell our kids.
The Tooth Fairy too. Now that I think about it, the Tooth Fairy was pretty outlandish because
I told my kids that the Tooth Fairy took your teeth and gave it to other babies who didn't have teeth yet.
Crystal, you've just been out here deceiving the masses. First, people think you don't tell them you can float right away, and then you get $20 on them, Now you're telling the kids about the line about the tooth fairy.
I know.
I'm glad you've changed. It's,
Yeah, see, this is
Growth.
what Christianity will do to you, people.
Make you a liar.
Make you a liar, and you just be okay with it and stuff. Well, I grew out of it. Well, my kids grew up, and I stopped lying to them. Okay, if you could create a new holiday, what would it celebrate, and how would people observe it?
Oh, if I could create a new holiday? Oh, if I could create a new holiday. If I could create a new holiday, it would be like children. Is there like a children's day? Like I feel like kids don't get celebrated enough just for being like kids. Like just
I
like
don't know.
kids day. Like how would you like celebrate children being children? Like an Innocence Day? I don't know. I don't know.
That is a good one.
I just got a thing for like celebrating the innocence of children. I don't know.
Mezzo says he does that. That's cool.
Like
I like
to
that.
celebrate kids for being kids. Yeah, like on my kids' birthdays, like I let them be like the boss of the day. They get carried away.
Yeah.
I have to reel them in sometimes, but on like pick a day of the year, the kids like, what are we doing today? Y'all tell me what we're doing today. That would be a holiday for them.
That's really cool. Yeah, I like that. It would be International Cookie Day, and you would celebrate it by giving me cookies.
Crystal, I feel like the more I'm getting to know you a lot more during this interview, I feel like while you're trying to learn about me, I'm learning about you, and I think you have a God complex a little bit. I think you want to be God. You want people to worship you with cookies, right?
I do.
It's all coming clear to me now. It's all clear for me now.
This is what Christianity does to you. I'm just telling you. It gives you a God complex and an addiction to cookies. Because, see, cookies are like the little wafer, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tie it in.
What's your favorite cookie?
Oh, wow. That's a really hard one. Of course, I've got to love a double stuffed Oreo with cold milk, But a homemade cookie that I like is called a Springerly, and it's a German cookie that it takes a little work to learn how to make it and make it pretty, and I make them every year with my daughter, so that's my other favorite cookie.
Springerly. I've never heard of a Springerly cookie before. I'm looking at them online right now, just like
they're really pretty, huh?
They are pretty. I like the detail in the decoration. That's really pretty. That's like a tea and crump, like a tea.
It's like a little tea cookie.
Yeah, my favorite cookie is a white macadamia nut cookie. I think.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with macadamia nut. Oh yeah, but see, they just don't really make bad cookies. I mean, I'm not a Fig Newton lover, so I won't eat those because I don't really like figs.
I love Fig Newtons.
my husband and daughter love Fig Newtons too, so we get them, but they get to eat them. Those are like the only cookies safe around me. They're like, we can bring Fig Newtons in. She won't eat those. Okay, what's the most unexpected thing that has ever made you laugh uncontrollably?
Oh my gosh, that has made me laugh. There's so many things because one, as serious as I can be on my live sometimes, I don't take a whole lot of things very seriously. And so I laugh at just about everything because I do have more of like a childish more childish temperament off live. My kids make me laugh all the time. I think they are the most hilarious people ever because they just do and say things that, I didn't see it coming. I never see it coming. And they're so matter of fact about their humor. It's very dry and very, it's innocent. I don't know. They keep me laughing all day long though.
My kids are funny too. And I love that. Like when you see your kid do something funny, even if it's not at or towards you, and you're like, that was good. That was good. I love it when they have a really good sense of humor. Yeah, my kids are very funny too. Like one time I asked my son, everybody kept leaving the cupboard doors open, and I would like lose my shit over something stupid like the cupboard doors being open. I'm like, I don't want to get all mad about cupboard doors being open. I said, son, would you please go make a sign that says, please remember to close the cupboard doors and put it on the cupboard so that we could see it. We'll just make a little memory thing. And he was like, okay. And about an hour later, I went upstairs to my kitchen and there were signs on my cupboard doors with, the guy Bismarck, the historical dude from Bismarck or whatever. I can't think of what his name is right now.
Bismarck.
And it would have a picture. It had his picture, and it said, "Please close the cupboard doors," all over my cupboards. And I'm like, "What on earth? What is this?" He goes, "I just thought it was a ridiculous thing for you to ask me to do, so I just thought I would make a ridiculous person asking you to do it." I was like, "You're so funny." And then another time, they went and put on all my Uncle Ben's rice with great power comes great responsibility. They just stuck that on all my Uncle Ben's rice.
Why? It's like
because Uncle Ben's in Spider-Man says that. He says, with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It didn't seem that right away. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking, like, why Uncle Ben? Why Uncle Ben? Like, I know Uncle Ben's rice, but I didn't.
Yeah, right?
Uncle Ben is okay. Oh man. See?
My kids, they're too much. Okay, if you could have one cat-like trait, what would it be?
One cat-like trait? The 9 lives. Give me the 9 lives.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would like their jumping ability where they can jump really high up, and it seems ridiculous. I would love to be able to just leap really high.
Jump really high in the air.
Just for the fun of it. Jump up on roofs and shit and just look down at everybody all of a sudden. That would be intimidating,
The thing I think I find really fly about cats is how, like, unbothered they are. Like, they really don't care. Yeah. They don't care about you. I don't know. Like, they love you for the moment that they want to be touched and cuddled. And then it's like, all right, that's more my personality. It's like, yeah, I'm feeling it. But the minute I'm not, you need to back away quickly. I'm going to scratch your eyes out. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty much
That's the same. Yeah. They have sensory issues like I do. I'm overstimulated. Back.
Yeah.
What's the strangest or most random thing you've ever found interesting enough to research?
That I found interesting enough to research? Oh, God, I research it.
Yeah. I research a lot, too. This is a very difficult question, actually.
I don't know. For a while there, okay, I have a very, very dark mind sometimes. That's part of my personality. So I got into a lot of, like, Edgar Allan Poe, right? So, like, I did the thing where I went over to Philly, I took the tour, and I went to his house, and I was, like, learning about
Ooh.
Yeah, and I was just like, unprovoked. Why am I here? I don't know why I'm here. And I didn't take anybody because, like, who are you going to ask to go with you to Edgar Allan Poe's house? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God.
Why?
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't think
I've ever gone to that extent of research where I've gone.
In all fairness, I live right over the bridge from Philly, so yeah.
Lord says you could have taken Lortz.
You would have gone with me? I would have taken you. For sure.
I do find myself going down rabbit holes though constantly because I do love research. Like, I don't know, if somebody were to post, let's say, just I randomly come across, like on Reddit or something, a headstone, I'm going to want to go know who were those people? How did they pass away? Like just randomly or something. And I'll start trying to see what I can find out on the internet before I'll realize, what am I doing? Like, I don't know these people. Like, this isn't going to help me in any way. I just got nosy for a minute.
And it's like, okay, well, I know that now. What am I going to do with that? There's nothing. Okay, well, added to the file of useless information that I have.
Exactly.
You know.
Okay, if in any pet you know, because you don't have pets, right?
Not anymore. No.
Okay. Okay, since you don't have a pet, if you could ask my dog one question, what would you ask my dog?
I see. I don't see the first thing that comes to my brain anymore.
There's a lot of filters for
a lot
me.
of filters that I've had to implement because the question that almost came out was just inappropriate. But I would ask your dog, like, you know, like if you talk in your sleep, like does she talk in her sleep? Does she sleepwalk? Because you know, I don't know. I want to know, and the dog would know. You even know.
Yeah, it's true. He sleeps at the foot of my bed, so he would know for sure. If I could ask my dog anything, poor little Georgie, he's had such a life. We had 2 large dogs when we got him, and he's a little silky terrier. Mm-hmm. And I let him play outside all the time together, not knowing that little dogs shouldn't play with bigger dogs, even if they get along, because the bigger dogs can accidentally hurt them. And not that he did get hurt, but I felt bad that I had done that for a long time without realizing that I, you know, could have got him hurt or whatever. But but they eventually passed away. And I think he's very lonely. And I want to know if he's lonely without Calvin and Klein. He's Giorgio Armani, and they were Calvin and Klein.
Fantastic.
Because they were mutts. Not he isn't, but they were, and I wanted them to have designer names, even though they were mutts.
Okay, you know, listen, as a you know, as a Black woman, I fully understand having children and pets with designer names. It's part of it. We do that a lot. You're gonna find an Armani, you're gonna find a Diamond, you're gonna find Versace. Yes, the names are there. Mm-hmm.
So nobody ever lets me call Giorgio Armani. They think it's too pretentious, so we just call him George.
Do it. You named him Giorgio Armani for a reason. You put some respect on that dog's name. Okay,
that's right. I respect my dog, man. If you have, he's a badass dog too. One time he just like killed a snake. He's little and he killed a big little snake.
Respect on that dog's. Giorgio Armani is the name. They have to say the full name.
That's right. And learn to spell it too.
It's been decreed.
Okay. If you had to describe your personality using only emojis, and you could do this for the chat if you like, go ahead and tell us in chat what those emojis would be and why.
Because I forgot the laughing emoji. There is a laughing emoji that should be there, but I laugh a lot. I'm actually quite shy. I don't care about much. I roll my eyes a lot. My face tells everything that my mouth doesn't. I'm loving though. I try my best to be as caring as I can and empathetic to other people. And I'm usually oftentimes annoyed, and that's the problem. I get annoyed people.
It's going to get noisy for just one moment while my daughter goes into the kitchen and makes a latte.
I love it.
We have a wall between us, but it doesn't do quite enough to keep the sounds out. Oh, well, those are the end of the icebreaker questions. So now it's your turn, audience, to come up, request up. I like to take one person at a time, and then if there's nobody in the guest box, you could stay as long as you want. But once somebody else gets in the guest box, I like to give them a chance to come up. Spicy Jess, how are you?
Good, how are you? Christina,
Hi,
quick question. Where are you at? Because it looks like you might be at Bash's place with
I
that
am
green
not.
bear.
Actually, I
Oh,
didn't think about that. I didn't think. I literally just moved my desk. Listen,
yeah.
if I didn't have laundry all next to me, I would show you that. You guys, Makai, can you come here really fast? I think it's Bash, and I'm not.
Don't be trying to drag your kids into this.
I'm calling my son. He's in the Makai, hurry up!
I don't know why you
It's an emergency. I told him not to bother me, so he's not gonna come.
Right, it's exactly what you. That's the thing, you know.
This is my Philadelphia Eagles blanket.
It doesn't matter. You could have packed that Eagles blanket with you.
Chair.
Like I don't, it's just I just had questions here,
I'm not at Bashes. I'm at home.
I will stick up for it.
Hurry. Come.
Look at her trying to be
Joel is saying you brought your son to Bash's house. Is that what
right.
you
I
did?
know it. I mean, it's just at the same time. Like I feel like
This is my son. I am at home.
we're we're there to show off the kids. I mean, you never know. What got you into makeup exactly?
Okay, okay. I was nervous about the questions y'all was going to ask me, chill. I started doing makeup when I was in college. I learned things very quickly. I'm a quick study on things, so I can watch someone do something a couple of times, once or twice, and I can pretty much figure it out from there. But when it was time to go out, I was a huge party girl in college. Club night was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right up on Sunday, possibly. But everybody wanted to, I wanted to be cute going out, so I just started like playing in makeup and doing it myself. I went to YouTube University, watched all the girlies on there do their makeup, and I would literally just follow along with them and get different products and practice with different things. Of course, I went through trial and error trying to figure out my complexion. I looked like a geisha a lot of the times when I first started. But I just kept going and kept practicing, and the other girls wanted me to do theirs when it was time to go out. So I just kept going and kept practicing. You hear echo.
You got muted. You got muffled for a minute.
Is it me?
Something happened to the sound. I'm gonna mute Dugald because I think that he had his mic on and it was muffling you.
Max that school's not even accredited. It's not. But I used to follow a lot of the old school makeup girlies like Jackie Ina before she was Jackie Ina and Makeup Doll and things like that. Those were like old school like makeup girls that really kind of helped me to get into it, and then I just kind of branched off and focused more on bridal and things like that. So, and here we are.
Very cool. How long have you been doing makeup?
Oh, over 15 years now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jess or Dugald, you guys have more questions?
I have a question. If you had access to the Tri-Omni God powers for 1 whole minute, what would you do with them?
I can't say that. Okay. Let's just say there would be a certain someone who is no longer a certain someone because a certain someone got rid of that certain someone.
There you go. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I same. I'm just kidding.
If you know, you know.
Right there with y'all.
If you know, you know.
No, you know.
It'd be 2 someones, actually. It'd be a 2 for a BOGO, if you will. Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That was my question.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Love you all.
Love you too. Jess,
You guys, if you have questions, Mac, Oso, Joel, Dahlia, anybody have questions? Come on up. The guest box is open. Jess, you didn't have to run. Yeah, come on up and ask Christina your questions. In a little bit, we'll play the game Divine or Decline, and you guys can play in the chat. Keep tapping the screen, though. I'd love to get to 25,000 likes. And thank you for my new subscribers. I really appreciate you. I didn't get to see everybody who subscribed, but I see we have 3 new subscribers, so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Dahlia said she thought that I would go with eradicating cancer. Here's the thing, right? I look at doctors like Dr. Hadia. I always say her name incorrectly, so I hate butchering it.
I think it's Hadia.
Hadia, right? And like we have cures, we have a lot of things that are suppressed and aren't given a lot of like funding and attention that we can actually do the thing with, right? But when I think about the harm that people cause, I think that's why it's like that's an immediate thing that needs to be knocked out and eradicated right now. And then put people in place to that would allow those other things to thrive and watch the world change. But we got to get rid of the cancer in that form. We got to cut that out immediately. That's going to kill us all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, unalive us all.
Hey, Yala.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Christina.
Ella.
Okay, I do have a question. If you could tell your 15-year-old self something from your age now that would help, what would you tell your 15-year-old self?
Don't be afraid to go at it alone. Don't be afraid to do it alone. I think there was a huge part of me for most of my life, and a lot of it has to do with the way my story began. Being born to parents who were on, both my parents were on drugs, and we ended up in the foster care system, being bounced around from one abusive home to another abusive home to another abusive home, and then finally placed with my adoptive mother. I felt like I needed to please people in order to, I needed people with me all the time, or I needed someone to approve of me all the time. In order for me to go in a direction, I needed somebody else to validate that I was actually doing the right things. I didn't really have the stability there. And it kept me from moving on a lot of things that I wanted to do, because it was like, if someone doesn't approve, or if someone doesn't like my thoughts, or if someone doesn't agree with me, I'm going to have to go by myself. And the idea of being alone really scared me. I'm no longer in that space now, because I learned that, when you decide to go in the direction that your heart is leading you in, and you're not waiting for others to come with you, you'll meet the people that belong with you along the way. And that's really what's happened in choosing to deconstruct from Christianity. I was like, if none of my other sisters and brothers that were in the church understood what I was dealing with, understood what I was, battling with all the time, I had to do it by myself. And then it came, like, my identity. I had so many identity issues and trying to figure things out at 15, being in the church and trying to wrestle with my sexuality and things like that. Like, just be yourself, do you, like, go at it alone and watch the people that belong, watch your tribe find you. And that's the truth. Like, my tribe found me. I didn't find my tribe. I was just walking. I was like, oh, we're like-minded. I can be myself with you. And that was perfectly fine. And at 15, I didn't know that I could just be myself, by myself, for myself.
I love that so much. Also, CrystalJae, I love your announcements, the $2 a month.
Thank you.
I'm going to for sure subscribe. And Christina, I respect and I'm very inspired by you. You're very beautiful. And yeah, thank you so much for answering my question, and put out a damn album. All right, bye guys.
Yes. When did you start singing?
I yell too much on live, so I hardly ever have a voice. Between my allergies and that's another fun fact about me. I'm allergic to allergies. I'm allergic to animals. All the things, dust. I just belong in a bubble, but that's it. But yeah, between that, I hardly ever have a voice. But I love singing, though. I do, when I do have a voice.
Joel says you should collab with Bash at his house. Just an idea.
Not at Bash's house.
If you guys have questions for Christina, the guest box is open. Don't be shy. If you are shy, feel free to ask in chat and I will read it out loud. And I use vulgar language, so don't be ashamed on what you want to ask or hold back. Don't be shy is what I'm saying. You guys keep tapping the screen. Thank you for the 20,000 likes. Thank you so much for the gifts and the subscriptions and the shares. I am looking to get to 50 subscriptions because a lot of my friends want to go ahead and give out subscriptions, but they can't do that till I reach 50. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so today. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, and you are on this thing, this app, this dance app, 24/7, 365 days out of the year. So why not invest in some of the small creators like myself, like Christina, and like Mac when he goes live, because he does an awesome job when he goes live. Hey, Mac, how are you today?
Hey, long time listener, first time caller. How's it going?
Welcome to the show. Do you have a question for our guest, Christina Carroll?
I do, and it's funny, like all the times I've been on your panel, I've never gotten around to asking you this. What is your favorite thing about me?
You ask. No. Honestly,
I'm
Matt,
kidding. Don't answer.
No, I'm gonna answer it.
No.
Because I love the question. Here's what
I'm dropping.
One of the things. No, I don't care. You can still hear me from the comments. I love the way Mac, like, because Mac is like, he's so genuine in the information that he has. So if I say something, or I like one, he knows what scripture I'm trying to go to, and he'll just say it. Like, this is the one I'm looking for, and I'm able to find it. But if I'm incorrect, he doesn't let me state incorrect just because I'm hosting the show, or just because like I'm in. He'll correct me right then and there, and it's done in such a way where, like, because I am learning. The reason why I started doing these lives was because I had a lot of questions, and I really genuinely want answers. I don't know everything, and I learn a lot from people in the community. I learn a lot from Thinker, Bash, Mac, Fee, all the people, right? So when Mac's able to like no, that's not what that meant, or where we could, this is what this action meant. I find it extremely helpful, and it lets me know that like he's not just there to amen, like he's not an amen kind of guy. He's not a yes man. He's really trying to just help spread the truth, and I love that about you, Mac.
Well, that totally fucking backfired.
Now you have to tell her
Not supposed
something
to
you
give me a
love
sincere
about her.
answer.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
So much to love about Christina. The way you conduct your lives. I mean, obviously, like personality, just strictly like within this realm, right? So, I think you do a fantastic job of kind of seeing people and assessing people, and you are more generous than I am for sure, but also you will hold firm to your ground, and so not let anybody kind of bully you over, and I really respect that. And you have some really wonderful flourishes when you are sick of somebody, so appreciate those. I did have a serious question for you though.
Okay.
Which is and it's kind of, I'm leaving it kind of ambiguous as to the application, but what does success look like to you?
Success, you understand it's a subjective thing, but success, I will like when I talk about my kids a lot, and I get a little bit frustrated sometimes when I have these types of opportunities to speak, but like my kids really are my life. So success for me looks like making their life easier, because I know the life that I had growing up. So when I see that, like they ask me for something, or they have questions, and I'm able to talk with them. I was never able to talk with my parents. I went through a lot of the things I went through alone because I didn't have that connection. I feel successful in that my kids can talk to me. My kids are not afraid of me. My kids know that, this really is a safe space. My life is not a safe space, but my home is a safe space. And that is success for me.
That's beautiful. And I agree. I when you see your kids happy, flourished, in love, and loved by other people it's such a great feeling as a parent, whether it's a friend that truly loves them and values them, or it's a mate or whatever. But like, I didn't have a lot of things either growing up. I was adopted by my aunt and uncle. And recently my daughter-in-law ran the marathon in Tokyo. And so they were all in Tokyo. And I thought, hey, Crystal, that's your son and that's your granddaughter and your daughter-in-law in Tokyo. You've never been there, but you were able to help them get there. And I don't know.
Yeah.
That feels really good.
It does. It really does, and that's why I don't take a lot of things seriously, like I said before, but I take my children and their not just their happiness. I don't think I'm here to make sure my kids are happy all the time, but even deconstructing from religion, they were a large drive for that. Because I want my children to know the truth. I want them to be led by the truth of things and be critical thinkers and not have to help them as best I can to avoid a lot of the hurdles that I fell into because I didn't have that guidance in that way. So I'm not a helicopter mom, but I love being able to walk alongside them. I think that's one of the greatest privileges that I have is to be able to walk alongside my kids through their life.
That's awesome.
Awesome answer. I'm gonna jump back down.
Okay. Thanks for coming out.
Enjoy the
Mac.
rest of this. Yep. I'll see you.
Thank you.
So if G Weezy requests up, which I don't think he will, but just know that he thinks he's God, like literally.
Oh, okay.
So
all right. Thanks for the heads
I don't think he's gonna
up.
request up,
Because
but hey, just a
as
heads up.
Christina knows, there can only be one God around here, and
Hello?
that would be me.
Crystal does the scamming around these parts. Thank you.
I will not have competition.
I said you would definitely take that floating bet, Christina, because you're a sucker for losing bets.
I am. I would do it, and I think even when she said, I'm like, I could probably do it. Like in my head, that's the first thought I
It's your
had.
toxic
now.
trait.
I could probably do it. Yeah, that is that is a problem for me. It's true. Don't tell me you can do something because so can I. Even if I can't, I'm gonna figure it out. Don't worry about it.
All right. See you.
Bye, Mac.
All right. Bye, Mac. Hey, Deconstruct with me. How are you?
Hey, Crystal, I'm doing good. Hey, Christina, it's nice to finally talk to you. I love watching your lives, by the way, or listening. I usually listen when I'm at work. But I have like a three-part question.
Oh.
So I'm always curious about people's stories. What was the catalyst? Hold on.
Wait, what? I muted her. I'm sorry.
Thank you. What
Go.
was the catalyst that started your deconstruction journey? And then what was like the final straw to say, hey, yeah, this is all bullshit? And then what got you into deconstruction streaming?
So what the catalyst for beginning to deconstruct was I was studying to become a minister in the church. I was already over the praise and worship team. So I, did the songs and put the song, we did all that. And then, I sat down and I was studying, and I say air quotes around studying because I know now that I was just reading or like rereading what the message from Sunday or Wednesday, whatever day it was. But when I decided that I was going to go ahead and accept the call and start taking the classes that the church was offering, it forced me to study more and ask questions. And they were like not answering my questions. I would ask a question about a specific subject matter that we were learning that week, and it was very vague in the response. Or one minister said, I think this probably was the turning point, which she said, we don't question God, we believe God. And I was just like,
Wow.
well, that didn't answer my question. And when I knew it was absolutely done for me, when I was like, I'm never coming back again. My best friend, who's a lesbian, she was getting engaged. So I was there supporting them, and I hadn't left the church at the time. I was still studying to be a minister, but I was really genuinely happy for her. So I was like recording the engagement. It was a surprise engagement. I was doing it. I was posting it on my social media, and the response that I got from members of the congregation were like, how dare you post this? Like, you used to preach against these things. And I was just like, but look how her partner is loving her. Look how she treats her. Look, like, why would God be angry about that? Meanwhile, I was in a marriage for 8 years and I was getting cheated on all the time. I wasn't being treated kind. Like, it wasn't a loving situation. I was alone most of the time. And you think God honors that, but doesn't accept that? Like, that was it for me. I was like, if that's love, if that's God, I don't want it. If this is what, if that's what love looks like to God, I'm leaving my marriage and him too. Like, I'm leaving them both at the same time. Like,
Yeah, very true.
so I left the church in 2018, got divorced in 2019, and I left the church. And I remember I had a conversation with God, and I was so sincere. Like, I remember the conversation. It was a one-sided one, of course, but I said to God, I was like, I want to know you like the Apostle Paul knew you. I want to know, what is it? Neither height nor depth. Like I want to know you beyond the shadow of a doubt. Like, for myself, that I want to be thoroughly persuaded, like the apostle was. So I was like, I'm gonna go on this journey. I just want to know you. I don't care what I learned before, what I read, what anybody told me. Let's take it from scratch. I don't know shit. I'm sorry. I don't know anything. And it was in that I moved into like spirituality, and then it was just like this book, and like when it just does, and then it was just like this book, and like when it just does it. Life went on for a couple of years, and then I came on TikTok, but maybe like a year and a half ago, and I was doing just makeup and music. I was listening to music, singing, doing makeup, and then I started. Let's ask these questions that I've been asking. Let's ask Christians about them. Like, I'm gonna have the conversation. Let's see what other people think. TikTok's gives me access to a very big world, and that's how the lives started, and then they kind of just grew from there.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great work.
Thank
Like I said, I
you.
love listening to your lives.
I do too. I love the way you run your lives. I think I like, I might emulate it because I do the panels too, but I don't like all the crossfire either because I'm very neurodivergent and it gets to me. But so I like the way you team up people and say,
Yeah.
okay, Mac, you're going to be with Bettina.
Yes,
I'm trying to think of a
I
Christian name.
absolutely
Tina
love how you do
Bettina.
that.
Mhm.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I really love that you do that. And while the other co-hosts and stuff can come in, there's a lot of less over talking and stuff because people know right away you're going to be talking to this person, and so even the Christians, although a lot of them try to unmute and stuff, most of the time they play nice since it's organized like that, and I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that format. If I ever get more people on my live, I'm definitely going to go to that format.
Yeah, and the live is ever evolving. It's not something that for me is set, right? I'm not afraid to fall. I'm not afraid to get it wrong. And it's like I saw how the live started. I noticed that it was going in a certain direction. I don't mind the entertainment aspect of it because I didn't start streaming just here. I started streaming. I've been streaming since 2019 on a different platform, but it wasn't religious. It wasn't religion. So I'm used to talking and doing the live stream thing. And I understand that it's a show. People come back because they're entertained by what they see. They're learning. They're entertained
Yep.
by it. They want to, they like they like the feistiness of it, right? So I don't want to ever get rid of that, but I don't want to be harmful. I don't want to become what I walked away from. I don't want anyone to feel
Right.
bullied. I don't want anyone to feel like disrespected in a way like unprovoked. You know what I mean? So it's like if this one that doesn't work out, if it's too much over talking, I'll go to Fee and be like, "What do you think? What did you think about today's live?" I ask people like, "What did you think about it? What can I do better? How can I change this?" Because I want to be able to have conversations and keep the platform growing and people coming back. I don't want anyone to be turned off or turned away. I can't control it in some aspects, but in the ways that I can, I will do my best to make sure that people can hear.
Yeah, I
I
think
just
Decon Live.
I'll check out. So when y'all see
Yeah.
me, it's because I'm overstimulated and I need to like put my attention elsewhere, and I let the panel have it.
Yeah, I think these deconstruction lives are so valuable. We may not get anywhere with the Christians that come up, but it's more for the people who are going through it, who are listening, who are in the chat, that have questions, that are beginning their deconstruction journey or in the midst of it. They're just so valuable.
Yeah, they are helpful. They are, and I sit on other panels and I sit in other lives. I don't always go on panel, but I'm like, I love this space. I love being able to learn, and I love that more people's eyes are being opened to critical thinking, whatever that leads you to, right? The conversations are necessary, and some days I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. and then I'll go, or somebody will inbox me, or somebody will come on panel and be like, I thought about it this way before and now I don't. And then I'm like, this is why we do it. It's enough for me to keep going. I'm gonna keep going. So,
Yeah, for sure.
All right, that's all I got. I'm gonna hop down. I see you got some people in the box, so I'm
thank
gonna
you
make
so
room.
much. I appreciate you.
Thank you,
Bye, y'all.
Deconstruct with Me. If you guys aren't following Deconstruct with Me, please do so. He is a part of our deconstruction community. He does go live. He's newer on the creator side, so make sure you follow him and check out his lives for great discussions.
I just
Oh
followed
yeah, and
I just
little
followed
shameless
you.
plug. I also have the Bible bracket madness going on. So
Oh yeah,
if you're interested in a
a fun
March
little
Madness type
bracket.
bracket with Bible characters, go to my page. The round of 32 starts tomorrow. So, just a little shameless plug, but check it out.
No, that's awesome.
Bye. I love y'all.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too.
In the clouds, thank you for waiting. Before I get to you, I want to know, First Corinthians, are you okay? Because I don't know if you were falling when you came up or what, but we want to make sure you're okay.
No. my my earbuds fell out of my ears.
Oh, okay. Oh,
It sounded
good.
like you were falling down a mountain, and I didn't notice to call for a park ranger or what.
My earbud fell right out of my ear, and I was like, I hope they didn't hear all of that.
And I typed in the comments, but I was like, dang, she didn't respond to that. I better make sure she's alive. So just wanted to check. Wanted to make sure you're okay. Glad it was just your earbud. Okay, in the clouds. Did you have a question for the beautiful Christina?
Hi, Crystal. Hi, Christina. How's it
Hi,
going?
Deja.
All right, so I do have a question. I was
Oh,
nervous.
it's
I was really
Deja.
sitting here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, like that's my real name, Daisha, but like I put in the clouds for you,
Yes,
because that's where
I
I'll be at
didn't
most of the
realize
time.
it was you.
Gotcha. So my question is, obviously, I look up to Christina and I look up to people like Thinker and stuff like that. So mine is, what advice can I get, or even, constructive criticism can I get from you, Christina? Like,
In regards to what?
um, just in general,
Just okay.
like, mhm.
Okay, so I want you. I don't feel qualified to give people advice on being right, but if you're asking, I do want to. I don't know. This is a little public, girl. So, but no, just always be yourself. Don't ever feel like you have to be pressured to doing or being anything other than yourself to be accepted by people, because you're valuable and you're worthy of friendship and acceptance by the right people for the right reasons. And you never need to feel pressured to do or be anything for anybody to accept you. That would be my not a criticism, but just my word of encouragement to you. Just keep being yourself.
You know what? When people used to tell me that for advice, I don't think I really got it. Like, I think that when it really hits you what they're saying, like that they're telling you to stop masking, that they're telling you to stop dressing for other people, they're telling you to stop being polite for other people, apologizing for other people, and you start to realize, oh, I thought I was being myself this whole time, but I was not. And there's, and you really get it one day that they're telling you, no, totally be yourself 100% of the time.
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic, exactly.
Yeah, like I said before, the people that are meant for you will be for you. And I know it sounds really cliche to say that sometimes, but I don't ever want anyone that I associate with or anything for me to be there, because I'll be there for you just because you need somebody to be there for you. And if I call you my friend, then that's what friends do. Period. With or without cash apps, with or without gifts, with or without the things, with or without applause. I'm gonna be your friend and be there for you, whether you clap for me or not. because that's what friends do. And it's not, you're loved and you're special and you're adored and you're genuine. And I know you really want to be there for people. And I want you to know that you're worthy of that same affection and love in return. So that's it.
Thank you. And my other question, I don't know if anybody asked yet, but do you have any plans in the future of putting out more music?
I do. Y'all listen, I'm a one-man band man. Okay. When I tell you it's only me doing everything that I do, from raising the kids to coach mom, soccer mom. Now she wants to do track and field. I'm track and field mom. Running the house. I work full time. I stream full time. I do makeup. I have podcasts. I'm trying to figure out all of the things and try and maintain some semblance of sanity. That it's really hard for me to get everything out the way that I want to, which is why I haven't even done a new podcast episode. It's just I'm trying to line things up, and I know if I had more of more of a support system here where I am, then I would be able to do more things. But right now, I just don't have that, and I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, so patience. I promise y'all I'm gonna put out some more music. I have been writing, I just haven't been able to compile the project that I see in my mind, which is a live music project. I don't want to do a studio recording. I want to do a live recording. So that's the next music project that we're gonna do.
Okay. And my last thing before I jump down, I just want to thank you. You're amazing. You're a great friend. Thank you for putting up with me and my craziness. I really do appreciate you, Christina.
We're all a little mad here, honey. We're all a little mad here.
All right. Thank you, Crystal.
Love you,
Well,
Daisha.
thank you for coming up. I appreciate you, Daisha. I just didn't realize it was you. You were.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Daisha got her wheels back because she got her window fixed, and she's been in the streets, and we have not seen Daisha. Okay.
1 Corinthians.
Hey. So first and foremost, thank you for doing this, CrystalJae. It really helps us to get to know the community even better. So I do appreciate you for that. Giving you your flowers right now. Christina, to give you your flowers, like I said, my husband said that that's the best makeup job that I have ever had, and I have gone to regular MUAs for makeup for headshots. So the fact that you did everything but hold my hand to do it, thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm employing those beautiful skills. And if you are a girly who does makeup or does not think you can do makeup, follow Christina and get some tips from her, because I promise you will not regret it. You will not. So let me get into my question. Christina, hi. Selena from 1 Corinthians 24:7. I would like
Wait,
to
Selena, wait 1 second. Wait 1 second before you do this. Dre has the name of a new show for you, Christina. You should do a show called What Can't Christina Do? Like, that would be such a great show. Makeup, theology. We got, comedy too. Comedy too with those voices.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Singing. Oh my God. Advice. You could do it all. What can't Christina? I'm sorry, Selena, but I saw that.
You're fine.
That would be a great show. I'd watch it.
You're fine.
Put a 1 in the comment if you would tune in to What Can't Christina Do. Put a 1 in the comments. Okay, go ahead.
Things Christina can't do.
So, Christina, I'm asking you this question because I'm on the hook right now for something, and I'm like, how would anybody else be this foolish to do it? If you were asked to come back and sing a song for someone's funeral, who would it be? And what song would you sing?
Fun fact, I don't typically attend funerals. I'm very sensitive. The last funeral that I attended was my mother's, and then my grandmother before her and my sister before her. I think those are the last 3 funerals. Oh, I'm sorry, there was one more, a family friend. But I don't take my kids to funerals. I don't typically attend funerals. But if I were to attend a funeral, be asked to sing at a funeral, it would be the guy, one of the guys, probably both the guys that we talked about earlier. If I had the omni powers, I'd gladly sing at their funeral. And it would be something upbeat. Like, I don't know. I'd probably pull the crowd. What do y'all want to hear? Like, I don't know.
Oh, nice.
It would be something.
You know, I'll tell you something. There's an old Christmas Carol movie called Scrooge, okay? Not Scrooge.
Love Scrooge.
With the ED at the end, just Scrooge, okay?
I love
and
Scrooge.
It's a musical one. And in it, when Ebenezer dies, and it's the scene where they're showing him that he's gonna die, and they jump up on his casket and they sing, "Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me." And I picture doing that. You know what I'm saying? When those two are gone, I'm jumping up and I'm gonna learn how to dance an old-fashioned jig too while I'm doing it. I'll get a top hat and a cane and I'll go all out.
Okay, so silly. I love it. Well, my last question is, and I know the shop is probably closed, but if you were to have another child, what would you name that child?
Surprise. Oh, I don't know.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Absolutely not. Now that shop is closed for absolutely. Oh no. No, don't you get that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. No.
One of my favorite quotes. Yes.
Oh. But no, actually, if I were to have another child, my God. If it were a girl, I would name her Ava.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. So simple and to the point.
I know you didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yes, please. Please tell me.
All my kids are adults. And in case you haven't noticed, I like to screw with my kids a lot. So out of the blue the other day, I just said to my daughter, Melchizedek is a really cool name. I'm going to name my next child Melchizedek.
Well, I am still beefing with my husband because, and I'm going to say this in his face, I'm still beefing with him because our youngest child, I wanted to name him Charles Xavier. And my husband would not allow that because his dad's name is Charles. But the main reason I wanted to name my son Charles Xavier is because I'm a huge X-Men fan and Professor X. And I was like, I could have called my son Professor X. So we settled on Superman's dad's name instead. So what you gonna do?
My children, their father, my ex-husband, I was his second marriage. He was married to his first wife, and he had 2 children with her. They all have his initials. All of his children have his initials, MDT. All of them. So I didn't feel like I had a say. And I wanted to name my daughter Ava, but he was like, no, you can't name her Ava because then it's not gonna be the same, blah 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 blah. So yeah, that's how I would name Ava.
I think it's very pretty. And let me pour more life back into you. Allow yourself to bring other people in so that they can help you with all these amazing projects that you're trying to do. You only have 2 hands for a reason, sweetie.
Yeah,
Love you.
Yeah, I have to be better with that. I don't like being I'm still deconstructing that part of myself. Deconstructing is a lifelong thing. And you think you just start deconstructing the Bible, and like I say all the time on the live, it's wagyu. It's woven throughout everything. I have to deconstruct my ideas about asking for help. So like I just be like, I have been doing better. I've asked certain people to help me with certain things, but as far as trying to actually build a team, I don't think I've done that because I don't like feeling like a burden to people or like I'm inconveniencing people. I'm working on it.
So keep on working because I have that issue too. But thank you so much, CrystalJae, for allowing me up here. Thank you, Christina,
You
for
can
answering
stay
the
up
questions.
if you like, Selena. You can
Oh,
stay up if you like. I don't have anybody in the
I feel
guest
privileged.
box right now, and even when they do, we've got room for a few more. Tahir, welcome to the
Hi.
show. How are you
Yeah.
today?
Good. How are you
What do you
guys?
have for Chris? What do you have for Christina today?
Okay, so I saw Dugald ask it and I did have to dip out for a second, so I missed if Christina answered it, but did you talk about how you like decompress after your lives so it doesn't get to you?
No. So I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression back in 2020. It got really dark there for a minute. So sometimes the lives can be too much, and I have what I call a toolbox, right? And there are certain things that I've learned to do during the live. I try not to wait until the absolute end of the live to decompress anymore. So when you see me get up and walk away, I'm decompressing. Like I'm doing something. I just have to put my attention elsewhere. I need to walk away and breathe and come back, or go drink some water and come back. I do little things that you guys will see me shuffling cards or like things like that to just keep my nerves and stuff down. Because when I first started, I was doing makeup, and a lot of that helped me to like balance the energies out a little bit. So I have the live going, but I'm focused on something else. But then I didn't enjoy doing that anymore, only because I felt like I wasn't. I was like, I'll save that for the sub only stuff. But after my lives, I don't really have a whole lot of time to get decompressed because I'm mom. So like you see them when they come in the door and they go in their room, they know to do what they have to do after they get home from school. But when I clock out of the live and out of work, it's time for me to get after it with them. So I don't really get to decompress until it's time for me to go to bed. And I decompress by going the fuck to sleep.
I feel that. I really like that you're able to take care of yourself while you're doing it too, because I think too many of us are not good at like addressing those things in the moment, and then, like you said, waiting till after the fact, and then it's all built up. So good for you. I
Yeah,
really
I had to, because when I first like when I was in transition of trying to figure out the best way to run the live so that I didn't want to get burnt out, because I'm also the type of person when it's no longer beneficial, or if it's no longer a sense of fun, or for me, I get bored easy and I'll stop doing it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if I want to keep doing this, I have to figure out ways to maintain my energy and my spirit as I'm going through it, or I'll stop doing it. And I didn't want to do that. So I was like, I can't wait until, especially my lives go from 11:30 to sometimes 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's a long time to be constantly going back and forth with energies and things like that. So I just learned to start doing it before, because I would get off live and I would be physically buzzing. Like my brain would be buzzing. I can hear like a buzzing in my head. I'm like, this is too much. Like, I need to, and I couldn't rest. So learning to implement little things, especially making sure I'm eating, making sure I'm drinking water, making sure I step away for a moment. Just little things like that are really helpful.
Good for you. Yeah.
And that's also why I keep a panel. Fun fact. A lot of people prefer one-on-ones, like where it's just them and one other. That's not for me. It's just too much. It's just too much. I love being able to like host and interject when I need to and have conversations, but be able to toss it to somebody else for that. There are so many capable people in this community, and I have a lot of really amazing co-hosts that are able to like really go with the information as well. So I take those breaks intentionally. There's a method for all of it.
Yeah, no, as you were talking, I was in my head wondering, like, I wonder if that's why she, has so many like panelists up there. Cause then, yeah, you do get a break. Like, hey, you go ahead and take this one, I'm going to take a few. So that definitely makes sense. And that does remind me, one thing that I really like about you is you seem to have no problem like using your platform to help other people, like other people who are interested in doing, the same thing. And like, I'll even see like you'll have your live, which I mean, it's fantastic, from, the you aspect, but then, you always have really great panelists. But then, like I'll go to say like Oso's live after yours, and then like it doesn't matter who it is, whoever, you know, like you're cool with, like I'll see you come in and then you'll share the love. And I really, it's always nice to see that, because you're like, you know, that's somebody who like who's really down for the people that she cares about. And that's another thing that I really down for the people that she cares about. And that's another thing that I really respect about you.
Yeah, I try. A big thing for me is like bringing up people behind me. Like we don't do these, like as communities grow, it's not about me maintaining a spot, maintaining a space. It's about like there are other people that have voices, that have things that they want to ask, have platforms that I love. Like yesterday, I was we were in Zena May's live, and it was just such an amazing thing to be able to love on her and show, like, remind her the community's behind you. Like
She's
run.
amazing.
If you can't walk, we'll help you up. We'll walk with you and wait until you're able to jog, and then wait until you're able to run, and then you just fly. Like that's what this is for. This is not about.
It was a great live.
It was amazing.
A great live.
And I was in the barbershop with my son, and I'm just crying, and I'm like, send more subs.
You know,
and I wish I could go to everybody. I want to be able to go to everybody, and there's a reason why I don't follow everybody back, and like until I've had like a one-on-one interaction with them. Only because I don't like I have to really be intentional about the things that I see on my feed, and you know, just until I have had that kind of one-on-one with you. But like the people that have come up here today, like I'm following you back. Like I want to see, like if you go live and this is something you want to do, you have questions, you want to know about platforms, you need a background done. I'm a DM away. You know what I'm saying? I'm a DM away. I open my Discord up for everybody. I'm like, you don't even have to subscribe to come into the Discord. If this is something you want to do, you have questions about makeup, whatever, or going live, go to. We're here for that. And I can't always be there. I can't always stay on panels long. When I'm done my live, I have to go, like I said, do everything that I didn't do while I was on live with y'all. So if I can make sure you're hitting gift polls, if I can send subs out, if I can just talk for a few minutes, I'll do that, and then I'll get the fuck out the way. But I want to be able to do that with more people as well. So
I really love that. I like you know, the fact that, like, you know, it's easy to look like a good person, but like hearing you talk, it's clear that like you are a good person, and it's really refreshing, you know. Like it's one of those things they say, don't, you know, meet the people that you look up to, or don't meet your idols. And you know, it is kind of nice, you know, being able to through Crystal, which thank you, chat with these people, you know, that we spend so much time, you know, interacting with, like their content, and actually seeing like, wow, these people are as awesome as I thought they were. So W Crystal, W Christina, you're really great. But I did have one more question. I was just curious, because I know you mentioned you have allergies and whatnot. So I was wondering, like, is that why you don't have a pet, or?
So we just rehomed I call her my daughter's cat, because I really got her for my daughter. Her name was Aura. And we had her for 5 years, and I suffered the entire time. Like I couldn't breathe. I had really bad hay fever last year where I was like 98% blocked, but I was just muddling through it because I didn't want to disappoint my baby girl. And I know she was so incredibly attached to her. But it got to the point where my doctor was like, so you're going to like just suffer for the rest of your life until the cat like unalive? So we had to finally end up giving her away. And I've been able to breathe a lot better. But yeah, no more pets for me. No more.
I get that. I mean, I'm allergic to dogs, and I have two, so I totally get it. It's a struggle.
Them, and it's just like, come here. As you're holding.
Yeah, like, let me just ignore this rash and love on you. You know? Yeah. But all right, I got to get back to work. Thanks for, you know, chatting with me. Thanks for letting me up, Crystal.
Tahir, wait before you go down. You guys, if you're not following Tahir, you should do so. She is also an amazing mod. So if you're looking for a mod for your TikTok channel or your YouTube channel, make sure you follow mine. It's in my bio there. Make sure that you ask Tahir, because she's great. She also is an amazing mod, and I hate to say, like, she does things behind the scenes in the Deconstruction Junction Discord, which is a free Discord as well. That link is also in my bio, and many of us up here right now, include, I think all of us right here, we're all a part of the Deconstruction Junction Discord.
Yep.
It's a huge conglomeration of creators and deconstructionists, and so you should join us there if you want. And Tahir is a big part of that. So thank you, Tahir. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. I do it because I love it. All right.
Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, bye.
Benny boy, how's my bestie?
What's up? What's up, besties?
Hi.
It's the puppet master.
The puppet master. Yeah.
Did you like that?
Discord you're talking about sounds great.
The Discord's amazing.
I didn't really have any questions. I just wanted to come up here to kiss Christina's ass a little bit. No, I just
you're in
wanted
the
to
right
say,
place.
First time I saw you, Christina, like, I don't know, you just have a great energy about you. You do all of these things that you and Tahir just talked about, like supporting the community. I see it, like when you are going into other lives, I see you gifting people. You gift me, and like that makes me feel special. Like that's really, really cool. That's the kind of energy that I love to see. And I wanted to like mention just one of my favorite things that you do, which is when you're on a live, like in like a verse would come up from the Bible. Like you will actually like bring up the verse. You'll bring up like you'll read from the beginning of the chapter sometimes. You know, like you will read the whole thing and you like digest it like right there with them, like while you're reading it. And I love that you do that. Like it's like really refreshing. I think it's really like helpful for people listening because you're going like, okay, so this line says this and that, you know, like that means this. And I don't know, you just break it down so well. And that is like so valuable.
I appreciate that. I think one of the beautiful things about the deconstruction community is that we all focus on many of us focus on different aspects of deconstruction, right? So you have the nerds, right? And I'm a part of that community, that portion of the community as well. It's all one big thing, but we all just have like little neighborhoods. You know what I mean? I'm going over Thinker's house. I'm going over Crystal's house. I'm going over Selena's house. I'm going. You know, I'm going to my friends' houses. And Thinker is a researcher. She gets into like the historicity of the things, and I love being able to glean from that. My shtick, if anything, about all of this is the morality of it. So I want to appeal to your morality, which is why I ask a lot of questions that kind of hone in on why do you believe what you believe? Do you believe what you believe? Is that actually how you feel the person? And depending on what we're talking about, then yeah, maybe you might be a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, or you're better than you think you are. You're better than this religion, this ideology, this dogma has taught you that you are. And I need you to see that because this is harmful. And, you know, I like being able to do that. And sometimes I think they're just wrestling with the bone because they don't want to appear as if they're weak in their faith online. And I can kind of discern if that's a thing when they're doing that too. And then some of them just got awful.
Yeah, you know, you're right. Like sometimes it is like when you're reading through it and they're like, oh, well, you know what?
I'm like,
I don't agree with that, you know, or they'll be like doubling down on it. And then you're like, okay, well, if you have a chance right now to just say, I don't agree with that. But if you're not going to.
Yeah. So I love that.
Seriously, I didn't have any other questions though. I think you guys are doing a great job. Crystal, thank you as always.
Don't drop down, Benny.
Okay, I won't.
Because when Fee gets done talking to Christina, we will play Divine or Decline, and you guys can stay up and help Christina so she doesn't feel alone up here, okay?
Okay.
So, Fee, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm good. Hi, friends. How are you guys doing?
Good. I love Fee.
Hey.
I love me some Fee.
I love Fee so much.
I adore y'all too.
Like, I live in an area that's in the middle of orange groves. And once a year for about 2 or 3 weeks, when you walk out my front door, it smells like orange blossoms everywhere. Like it smells like somebody just plugged in a Glade plug-in outside. It is so beautiful. And that's Fee. You know, you walk into a room and it's orange blossoms everywhere. She is just, I could just drink it in.
Well,
You are
damn.
so sweet. Oh my goodness, that is adorable. I came up here. I didn't have any questions. I came up here actually just talking about Christina, how awesome she is. But y'all are so amazing. I honestly don't remember when Christina and I started talking offline. I honestly don't remember when we met at this point, but I do remember a conversation that we had early on about her lives. And one of the things I remember telling her is that she has such an authentic energy that is hard for people who are truly looking for something true not to resonate with what she says and how she says it. So I think the reality is that person after person that's come up here and asked questions and made comments about how her lives and her interactions with people impact them, I think that's the through line for that. And it's all about authenticity. And I feel like regardless of whether it's a high or a low or a good thing or a bad thing or something that she's felt proud about or something she's felt like she's learned from, she shows up authentically. And that authenticity will always win. I think it's just part of us as humans. It's something that we see in each other organically. And I think that by creating the space that she creates and fostering the conversations that she does, it just shows. And that's the reason it's grown the way that it has. And I couldn't be more proud of her as a friend and more happy to call her a friend as a part of this community. And I just wanted to share that.
I love you.
I love you too, friend.
Listen, I was just telling them earlier, I don't know if you were in here, I was like, listen, I'll ask Pete, how did you think today went? Like, what did you think? Were we too harsh? I know. I was like, there was a lot of over talking, wasn't it? Oh my, like, I don't want to do that.
Right. But I think that's the beauty of the community. Like you're going to have people who need to hear what we say in the way that Christina says it. We're going to have people in this community who need to hear what we say in the way that Thinker says it, or Crystal says it, or Justin says it. Like different people hear things differently. In the same way we all, if you ask, I said this before, if you ask students at a school, like, who was your favorite teacher? They're usually going to name a different teacher and a different reason. And it's the exact same thing with these conversations. Everyone has a different way of engaging. Everyone has a different way of asking questions. And the various thoughts that come into people's minds and the various perspectives that are shared throughout these conversations is what makes deconstruction so exciting, because you're able to learn about a person based on how they think. You're able to learn about them based on what they share and the things that resonate with them. And that's just one of the things that I think is just amazing about this community.
There's a reason that both Fee and Christina have emotes as my subbies and in my Discord of their very
I
own.
noticed that I had one until your live yesterday. I was like, I texted him on the side. I was like, dude, oh, wait. I didn't know. That was so cool. Yeah, let's see.
You couldn't have said that any better,
Okay.
Fee. Like that was a really good way to word
I
all of
know.
that. Like that's exactly
what I'm
how I
talking
feel about our community too. Like it's how I like. That's part of the why I like created that big old Discord the way it is to help people. You know, they might come in because of Thinker or Justin or whoever, but they might discover that they're like more into somebody like Christina or like a Dugald show or, you know, or one of Crystal's shows. Like there's a different flavor for everyone. And we all have this like kind of like foundation of the deconstructing that's going on. So yeah, I can't word it any better than you could.
I agree. It's been an amazing community. It was one of those things. I know so many people have said this, but it's true. You don't know you need it until you're in it. And then you're like, shit, I needed this so much. I needed this community, you know? You guys, before we get started on the game Divine or Decline, can we get to tapping the screen to 50,000 likes? Also, I have a gift goal of 20 of the big bows on my head. And if you can help me reach my gift goal, I have 8 of 20. I'd really appreciate that. Plus, if you haven't subscribed, please think of doing so today. It's less than a cup of coffee a month. And you are subscribed to Netflix, Hulu, and the NFL Premium channel, which is the stupidest channel to subscribe to because you can't even watch the football games on your TV. You can only do it on your iPad. So what the fuck are you still subscribed to that for? Just cancel that, okay? Save yourself money and then come over, subscribe to creators like myself, Dugald, Benny, Christina, and gift my beautiful panel here as well. Thank you so much, you guys. And share out the live and do all the good things. If you enjoy the show and you want to support it, there's ways to support it in my bio. I have Mezzo and Joel coming up tomorrow night. I have Volsi coming up later this week. And I am working with Eloso Ray, G, Thinker, Justin. So we've got great creators coming. And I hope to have these people back every couple of months so that they can update us on what's going on. And I just think it's a really fun way to get to know our wonderful creators. And I hope you're enjoying the show. Okay, you guys ready?
I have to go run errands, but I love all of you very, very much.
I think you're scared. I think you're scared to play Divine or Decline.
Crystal, can I say one thing real quickly? Benny, I consider myself a pretty organized person, but what the fuck you do in that Discord is insane. And I just want to say thank you.
Right?
It cannot be easy to keep all of that stuff organized. So thank you so much for doing that.
He even had time to set up my Discord for me.
Right? It's amazing.
This man does a lot.
This isn't about me.
You don't know.
It's not about me. This is never about me.
You guys have no
It's all about
idea
y'all.
either. The things he does behind the scenes for people's YouTube channels, their Discord channels, their TikTok studio or whatever, he does so much. And he's one of those people who comes in and supports the hell out of new creators and stuff. He'll come in and gift them, him and Seth both, and share out the live, and then go and blast it in the Discord and stuff, and say, people, come support this person. You know, you're amazing, Benny.
Yeah. Christina, you have my heart. You know that. Bye all.
Yeah.
Bye, do.
Bye, Dugald.
No,
All right, you guys, are you ready for Divine or Decline?
Yes.
Okay, here's the rules. I'm going to read you something, and if it's from the Bible, you will say divine. If it's not from the Bible, you will say decline. There are no points, so points don't matter. There are no winners or losers. Make sure you're playing in the comments. I want to see your answers as well. So here we go. Starting with number 1. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Divine.
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 That is divine. That's Proverbs 16:18. Good job. I see a lot of divine in the comments as well. Okay. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Divine.
It's divine.
That is divine.
I don't think it's smart, but it's divine.
That is true. It is divine, and that is Matthew 5:5. Okay. And it came.
So I was trying to remember all the Beatitudes. Blessed are the
Yeah. You know, recently somebody was like, this Christian doesn't know the 12 disciples. And I thought, I don't know the 12 disciples. I know some of them aren't disciples that we talk about, but I don't know the 12 disciples. I never really cared to learn them. But
4 of them are Ricky, Bobby, Ronnie, and Mike. I could be wrong.
Ricky, Bobby, Ronnie.
Sure.
Paul, George, and Ringo, and
Manny, Mo, and Jack. I think those were some of them too. Larry, Mo, and Curly. Were they in there somewhere?
Somewhere.
Hall and Oates, I'm pretty sure, are also.
And oats.
Hall and Oates, yeah.
Fun fact, I sat next to the Oates of Hall and Oates on, was it the Oates? I forget, it's the guy with the black hair. What's
I think that's Oates.
I sat next to him on the
think
plane.
Oates is a nice one too.
I sat next to him on the plane. I didn't know who he was until the person sitting next to me on the other side told me who he was. And I was like, oh.
Deconstruct with me said JoJo and KC. I'm dead.
Yes.
Okay. And it came to pass that they did prosper exceedingly in the land, for the Lord was with them.
Divine.
Are we talking about the Amalekites? No, I'm kidding. Divine. I'm gonna say
Did everybody
divine.
answer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we saying divine? It's declined. That's from the Book of Mormon. That
Thanks.
is Alma 130.
Ah.
But it sounds very
By the
Bible.
way,
Right.
Very Bible.
yeah, it did, huh? Because they
Lord is
copied
with
from the Bible, you know.
Oh, that makes
What
sense.
you know what I want to do in my channel, and so if any of you guys want to help me with this, it'll be in my channel on the Deconstruction Junction Discord. I want
Okay.
to start naming all the people who are not named in the Bible, starting with the first person who is Cain's wife, and we could give them a name. So, because there's so many
I'm
people
all
who
for
don't
it.
have names. I say we should name them. We should, give them a name. And so I'm going to start by, we'll start with Cain, and we'll go through the Bible and find all the unnamed people and give them a name.
Give them
Can
Okay.
it coincide? Can the names we pick coincide with like what happened to them? Like when we pick a name for Cain's wife, can we find the name of the wife of a murderer or an unaliver?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
is
that
it
is really
I would
good.
name Lot's wife Salty.
is it bad? Okay,
Somebody
see,
mute
you
Bennett.
can like
Mute
read my
Bennett.
mind a little bit. It was. I thought Nicole Brown Simpson would be a good name.
That's what I was thinking. That's the sad part about it. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so Kane's wife from now on is Nicole Brown Simpson. Okay, I'm going to put that down on my channel. It's going to be our first one. I don't know who the second unnamed person is. I only know who the first one was. So I have to look now. Okay, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped.
That's
It sounds
declined because it's kind of jumbled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
the
doesn't sound
Lord
like
is
it's
my
always right.
yeah,
The Lord is my
it's jumbled.
strength and buckler, I think is what it is, right?
My strength and whom I trust.
His name is a strong tower you run into and you're safe. I'm gonna say decline.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm decline on that one too.
I'm going with the popularity here. I'm going to go into the popular.
Popular vote. Or the popular
It
vote.
is divine. It is
version?
Psalms
That was so jumbled.
28:7. It's probably not
That's
the
how it's
verse
written?
you're thinking of. Yeah, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Psalms 28:7
What's
in
the-
the New Revised Standard updated
Oh, that's
edition.
why. That's why, because
Well,
I
let's
read it
read it
in
in a
the
different-
KJV.
The
Yeah.
Lord is my strength and my shield. What version is this? This is NIV. Okay. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him and he helps me. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise him. David, old crying ass. Sorry. I can't stand David. David makes me so sick.
He is such a baby. He's a whiner. Okay. Woe unto the wicked, for they shall be cut down as the grass before the scythe.
Divine.
Divine.
Divine. It's
Yeah,
in
that was
there.
divine.
It's in there.
Everybody
the-
saying divine?
Isn't that a
Right, it's in
scythe? Is it a scythe?
It's a
S-C-Y-T-H?
Scythe. A scythe.
Scythe?
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
was
how to
like,
pronounce
I
it.
know I'm saying this wrong. Yeah, it's a scythe. So woe unto the wicked, for they shall be cut down as the grass before the scythe. That is decline. It sounds biblical, but it's not really.
I'll see y'all
biblical.
tomorrow.
It's just made up.
Embarrassing.
This is embarrassing. The Christians are having no time with this right now. You understand?
They don't know any of these. They think that they're all the Bible. Do not the unbelievers see that the heavens and the earth were a joined entity, and we separated them?
Decline.
Decline.
That sounds like the Book of Mormon.
Now that's Book of Mormon, right?
Or like some
That's the
apocryphal.
Quran.
Yeah,
That was the Quran,
Okay.
Surah 2130. Okay, let's see. Let us not love in word or speech, but in deed and truth.
Divine.
Divine.
Can you read it again?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
about to say.
let us not. Yeah, let us not love in word or speech, but in deed and truth.
It sounds like something
The Matthew.
New Testament-y. Like they're talking
Very
about
many.
Yeah,
That's
like about faith and
that's in John.
yeah.
Okay, it's divine.
That's divine.
Now, if that's Book of Mormon, I'm gonna be upset.
Me too. Because I think I read that in John.
I would say divine.
Benny?
Yeah, it sounds New Testament.
Fee?
Divine.
What's your vote, Fee?
I'm divine.
Divine? You're right. It's divine. That's 1 John 3:18.
Okay, one of them Johns.
What is
Yeah, that makes
It
sense.
was. I was like, I knew what you meant because I was like, it's 1 John, so you're close. Surely the just will walk in the ways of the Lord, and the unrighteous shall stumble therein.
divine?
Divine.
Yeah, divine. It sounds like something also New Testament-y.
Did everybody say divine?
Is it give
No,
Still thinking?
I think it's
I'm
divine.
still thinking. Give it to me again.
Surely the just will walk in the ways of the Lord, and the unrighteous shall stumble therein.
I am going to.
You know what? I'm
reluctantly-
changing mine. I'm saying decline. I'm feeling iffy about it now.
Come
Get on your
on.
square, Benny. Oh,
If there was a reference to magic panties, then I would maybe say decline. Thank you, Mormon, but I'm sticking with divine.
Yeah, get in.
okay. Divine?
Yeah, we clicking it.
What? Divine? Okay, it's decline.
Yes.
It's decline. It sounds biblical, but it is not a direct quote from the Bible.
I was like, it sounds
Do
close.
I do a good
but
poker
yeah.
face? Is it hard?
You do a great poker face.
Are you able to read my face?
Yeah.
Okay.
You must have been a great actress or something.
All right. Well, I do play poker, so I'm hoping that my poker face is working here. For the word
Right, Dre.
was with God, a light unto all people.
Wait, say it again. Because I feel
For
like,
the
is
word
that
was-
all? So I feel like there's more.
Yeah, that was it. For the word was with God, and the word was a light unto all people.
Divine. I feel like there's pieces missing, but that's divine. That's in there.
Is that John 1:1? I'm close to it. I don't know.
I don't want to look.
Yeah, it's
I don't want to look it up until you answer whether it's divine or decline. But I think it's
because I know John 1:1 is in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God.
Okay, that's this is
So
similar.
yeah, and the Word was a light to all people, to all men. I remember that. But yeah, let's go divine.
divine. It's in there.
I'm declining.
It's decline.
Fee's
It's
gonna
just
decline.
like it's decline. I just
What is
it's
it?
just a mixed up hodgepodge.
No, it was the life. The life was a light to all men. Was it the life was a light to all men? Let me look this
I don't
thing up.
know. I just put
I thought it was what Loki said in Avengers. That's why I declined.
Yeah, the John 1:4 is his life was a light to all mankind.
I should start putting
light of
movie
all.
quotes in with these, and you.
Absolutely should. Crystal. Absolutely should.
The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows His handiwork.
Divine. Divine. I know it's divine. I don't care.
I mean, it sounds divine enough to me.
It's divine. If you say it's not in there, I don't know who I'm gonna tell. But I'm telling
It
somebody.
might
That
as
sounds
well,
like David. That
it
sounds
might
like
as well
David.
be in there, honestly, with the way it's.
That's in there. Dad said it's in there. I know it's.
That sounds like David.
I was gonna say
It's-
decline, but if Mama
it's
Beth
divine.
says divine,
Knew it.
Okay.
I would like.
It's divine, and that's Psalms 19:1. Psalms 19:1.
Yes. I know it.
So, how did you guys do at home? Did anybody get a perfect score at home? Because you're lying if you said you did. You know you're lying.
That's tough. I don't like this. This is like the third time
So
I played it. And I don't like it.
I don't like it.
So tomorrow night I'm gonna play that game with Joel and Mezzo, but we're also gonna play another game. I'm gonna, since they're best friends, where who is more likely? You know that game that best friends play? Who's more likely? So you'll say like who's more likely. Yeah, I think it'll be fun to play with Joel and Mezzo. So if you guys have questions in the comments and you're too scared to come up, please feel free to ask them in the comments and we'll read them to Christina. And if anybody up on the panel has anything else you'd like to ask her, feel free. We'll be live for about another 15 more minutes. So Fee, Benny, First Corinthians. I call you Selena and then First Corinthians. I never know
You're
which one
fine.
to call you.
You're fine.
I love that name, Corinthians.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
I was gonna
when
use
she
it in the
changes her
Thank you.
name.
All the time. All the time.
When you had
what's
teapot
24/7?
or whatever, I
was
almost
thinking you
lost
had
it.
like 14.
Selena, did you just call
14
me?
what?
That's a good
No, I
question.
was saying, no, it's 24/7 is just because that's all day, every day.
Oh, okay. Well, because like 1 Corinthians 14:3 or whatever is like women shall be silent in the church, or it's that one where it's like, oh god.
Oh. Christina, Mama Bash wants to know, do you
That's a good
No, I've learned to forgive myself for the things that I didn't know, right? And I'm very candid when I talk with my children now. They fully understand where I am. I have no desire to force anything either way on my children, because I look forward to seeing the people that they'll become. And I'm not here to make them who I want them to be. I'm here to really do the best I can to protect them while they're growing into who they are going to be. And try and really lead by, if they can glean from me in any way. They've seen my highs, they've seen my lows, and I'm very honest about them. And they're watching me transition through the things. They hear the conversations we have on live. Sometimes my son will be walking by, and then after I get off, he'll be like, they sound dumb. Like he'll say things like that. I'm like, well, people are, they're at different places in their journey, at different walks of life. My children, when I left the church, were a lot younger, so they knew of religion and Christianity, to love God, but didn't have a lot of the dogma and a lot of the structure around it that I grew up having. So it's, now when they ask questions, I'm able to just honestly answer them. They know I'm atheist. They know I don't believe in the God of the Bible, and they respect that. And sometimes like they will still say, they have this idea of loving God still. So I'm not trying to rip anything from them, but my one job with knowing what I know is to encourage them to be critical thinkers. I tell them, question everything. And if someone can't give you an answer, go find that answer on your own. And that's all that I desire to do now. And that's kind of where I am with it. I don't want to punish myself or beat myself up for where I was at when I had my children.
I also think that
That's
Christina.
really healthy, I think. Oh, go ahead, Fee.
I'm sorry, Crystal. I didn't mean to speak over you. I think we have a bit of a delay. You want to go?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, I think this is something that Christina and I have talked about before too, where, we have to give ourselves the ability to grow and to learn and the grace to realize that that's a process. It's kind of like if we had a map, right? And we're looking at this map as a guide to get us somewhere, and that map is old. Well, if you're trying to utilize that map later in the future and you realize that there's a new road that has been paved to get you from point A to point B a lot quicker, you're not going to be mad at yourself for not utilizing that road when it didn't exist. So in the same vein that we can't, you were at the time that you both were teachers of this doctrine, is because you taught it because you believed it. You taught it because you thought it was true. So the simple fact of the matter is that you were doing the best that you can with the knowledge that you had at that time. So as you gain new knowledge and new understanding, you adjust course and you make adjustments. So in the same vein, like with the teachings that may or may not have been instilled in our children before we understood that this wasn't true, or the people that we have shared this message with for the purpose of making their lives better. We have to remember helping them in the only way we knew how. So once we learn better, we do better, and we make those adjustments. So we have to give ourselves that same kind of grace.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. And there's Fee being Fee again. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah.
I could listen to food. Like,
Fee
oh,
being Fee
I
again.
love it.
I love it.
Mama Bash would also like to know, how do you handle Christmas?
Christmas. Honestly, for me growing up, like I grew up in a very religious house, and my mom always tried to, she always tried to incorporate Jesus as the reason for the season and all that other stuff. But I grew up understanding that Christmas was about getting toys and presents and being with my family, and I was more interested in putting up the Christmas tree, decorating it while listening to the Jackson 5 Christmas album and the Temptations Christmas and, all those things. And it was just the energy of it for me. So it was never really about, oh, Jesus' birthday, let's celebrate Jesus until we got to church. My kids very much so now, they love Christmas because they have Christmas lists that they give me. And it's very much the capital of it all at this point. They just want toys and, whatever they want. It's not about Jesus anymore. It's just about me being able to create memories and have fun with them and surprise them with some stuff that they didn't realize that they were getting or whatever. It's stressful. I wish I could cut it out, but it's just something that we do. There isn't any religious meaning or anything to it.
How do you navigate implementing, encouraging critical thinking now that children are grown, like when they're grown? How do you instill that?
Well, I have an 11-year-old. My youngest is 11. My daughter's 11, and my son's 13. Sometimes they'll ask me questions, and I'll tell them I know the answer. I have an answer that I want to give you, but I want you to go find out for you. Go look it up, and then come back to me and tell me what you found, and then we can discuss it. I don't want to just feed them things.
Right.
That's how indoctrination works. You're just being fed things. So I encourage them to go do research. Go look for the answer. Like, you're on that iPad all day. You're on that phone all day. You could definitely be doing other things. And you come to me and ask me a question. I love when they ask me questions. I love that they feel like I'm knowledgeable enough for them to ask me questions. Sometimes I don't fucking know. You go look that up, and I'll be on the computer doing my own research about it. But then we can come back together and actually have a conversation. I can hear what they think about it. I can share what I think about it. And then we'll, some stuff I'll be like, I don't know, kiddo. Let's go look it up together. I'll look it up with them. I like them to know sometimes that I don't know everything, that I don't know things. Sometimes if I had the time to look it up with them, but I want them to go on their own and find the different resources. They know what websites. They're still in school, so they're learning how to do research and things like that now at their age, which is, I love that for them. But yeah, I encourage them to go find answers. I think one thing I love about my sister who homeschooled her children was that life was their school, outside was their school. So I'm like, if I can implement that in certain ways, go explore and figure it out, or find it as much as you can, and then let's see what we can do together. I like that. That's my approach with them.
The question is coming from Ms. Brat 143. So her children are in their 20s, and she says, mine are so overwhelmed with loving God because of how I raised them. My youngest will not question. And you cannot make an adult question this, especially one that was brought up in it, even if you're the one who brought them up in it. What you can do, though, is encourage them to read the Bible for themselves from the beginning and to ask you any questions along the way. Talk about it with them. Tell them, I just want you to understand the historicity of it. I want you to understand the truth about it, who these people were, and what the words are really saying. Fee, go ahead. Feel free to speak as well. You always have something wonderful to say.
Thank you, Crystal. I just wanted to kind of co-sign what you were saying. I think the best way to do that specifically for older children or our adult children is to demonstrate for them what it looks like to critically think. So when you engage in these conversations, as opposed to having the point being, no, you're wrong, because you could maybe shift it to, here's why this doesn't make sense to me, and kind of walk them through the logic of it. Because the reality is logic is going to logic, and either point A will lead to point B, will lead to point C, or it won't. But the reality is, if the goal is to not show or convince a person that they're wrong, but to encourage them to think in logical and reasonable ways, the best way to do is to demonstrate that, in my experience. Because there have been plenty of times, like I say this all the time, I raised my son secularly, and part of secular parenting is a lot of back and forth that doesn't happen with authoritarian parenting. So I encourage him to question everything, including me. So getting used to that process of, okay, you may think this, I don't necessarily agree with you, and this is why this doesn't make sense, and kind of showing them how to walk through that process is slightly different with once your children are adults, because it's really ultimately they've got to make the decisions on how they're going to live their lives. But if your goal is to encourage critical thinking, I think kind of guiding them through step by step, not to tell them where to land, of course, like we always say, the best teachers tell you where to look, not what to see, but just explaining, you see it that way, and that's great, but here's why I landed at conclusion that I landed at, and then kind of walk them through it that way. That usually has been, in my experience, pretty beneficial.
That's really
And
good.
just to piggyback off of Fee, I think my family were lucky enough where my husband never believed, like he was never a Christian. And so whenever we did talk to the kids, I would come from the biblical standpoint, but he would bring it right back around to secular so that they could have the dichotomy of, okay, this is what it looks like in the book, but this is what it looks like in real world. Here's some of what to think. Here's how to think about that, or here's where to look for other things that's outside of the book. So having someone else there to be a balance and not to have that strict line, it absolutely helped. Because I think, and he's helping me now even with what I'm going through. So
Yeah.
That's really good.
It brings about so many really, I've had some of the most amazing conversations with these tiny humans. And I learned so much from them in the way that, I'm able to parent through the lens from this perspective of deconstruction, right? And you've never been humbled until an 11-year-old looks at you and goes, I don't agree with that. I'm like, why? Okay. Well, let's talk about it. And it's so it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. I'm getting this I'm not perfect at it, but I'm getting it right to where you can see their wheels turning. You see, use the brain, use it, and I love that. It's so incredibly important to me for my children to navigate the world that we live in on their own terms, and that does mean being willing and ready to have harder conversations. And it feels great to be able to do that without the lens. And because I was raised in the church, right? Because I was indoctrinated and taught a very certain way. I'm just now in my 30s, late 30s, deconstructing that, right? I do still feel like in a lot of ways I'm learning with them, and I used to think about this a certain way. I approached finances. I approached relationships, I approached education. I approached everything in my life through the lens of faith. And it's like, now I have to, it's like I have experience, but now I'm gaining my own, a new experience for myself as well. And it's something that I'm constantly doing. So they watched me shift positions on a thing where I'm like, I thought about it this way for a long time. And now it's like, I don't agree with that anymore. And here's why. And like Fee said, you're able to be, I'm able to be honest with them and not just be like, oh, well, God's gonna figure it out. You just give it to, like, I was told to take past your cares and leave it there. What the does that even mean? Like, what does it mean to do that? I don't know what that means. But that's what
Set it and forget it.
That's how I was taught to process my feelings and process my
Decline.
emotions. And I never, right, decline. I never did. So now when my children they have big feelings, they're at ages where they're learning and they're in their interpersonal relationships and their relationship. I get to see it, and they get to ask the questions. I'm like, well, how do you feel that went? How did that make you feel? Do you feel, like, do you see where it's just we get to grow together, and growth is so incredibly beautiful. It's not always easy, and it hurts sometimes. It requires a lot of healing and a lot of acceptance and a lot of just transparency, but it's a very, very beautiful phenomenon.
It really is. And, since there are people in the chat who are parents who are talking about this, I really want to encourage you to join our Discord if you are deconstructing. I don't want you to feel alone out there. We have a huge community. The link is in my bio. It's absolutely free to join. It's called Deconstruction Junction. Many of our creators, I think pretty much like I said, everybody up here on the panel is a part of the Deconstruction Junction. And you'll meet other creators, but there's mental health resources there. There's biblical resources there. There's always live announcements so you could see what creators are going live and join in on the conversations. But there's even on Saturdays, they do shenanigans now. There's a book club. There's just a lot to be involved with there. You guys, we are getting close to the end here. If you could tap me to 60,000, and if I could get 3 more of the little headbands, I'll reach my gift goal. Make sure you're gifting my esteemed panelists here. I hope you guys have had fun today. I hope you're enjoying Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. I enjoy bringing it to you. If you are, thank you. If you are a creator and you want to be a part of Decon Q&A with CrystalJae, just hit me up in my DMs on Discord or TikTok, and let's get together, because I would love to. Board agnostic, you have a DM waiting for you. I'll tell you that much right now, because I want you to be up here. So,
amazing.
Right?
Pastor needs to show up.
There are so many amazing creators. And so, at first people were like, how are you going to keep your dance card full? But it's easy. There's so many of you that are amazing that I can't wait to talk to. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, I hope you guys have had a lot of fun here. Christina, I would love for you to take a moment and just plug yourself. Tell us where people can find you, what you're doing, what podcasts you have going on, what show you're doing, what music you have out there. Tell us where we can find you.
You can find me out of my mind. I'm primarily on TikTok right now. I spend a lot of time on TikTok, but I am working on building other platforms like YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I haven't posted anything yet. I do have my MacBook now. Yes. So I can start downloading things. I actually have the ability to do that now and upload it onto YouTube, upload those episodes onto YouTube. I'm on Instagram. When the whole ban thing happened, excuse me, with TikTok, I downloaded all those every other live platform that was available. So I'm on those, but don't bother. But I do have a podcast that's available on all platforms. It's I'll Take It From Here with Christina Carroll. And that name derives from, I think, her Carrie Underwood's song, Jesus Take the Wheel. And Jesus wasn't getting me nowhere, so I took the wheel back. And just decided, like, I'll take it from here. And then I do have 2 songs that are out. I released them last year. One is called Make Love, and the other one is Human Nature. Those are available on all music platforms that you can download music on. Like I said, the next music project that I want to do, I want it to be a live recording. So that's really exciting. And is that it? YouTube, TikTok, I'll Take It From Here podcast. I have some other podcast projects coming up. I don't know how much about them I can talk right now. But I think that's it really for right now. Like I said, once I'm able to like build a team and I have more hands, I'll be able to like, because right now I am kind of burning the candle at both ends. And like even last week I was like so tired and so like I was like my sleep was just not doing good and I had to like end my live early because I was like falling asleep in the chair. So once I have more of a team in that aspect, I'll be able to do a lot more. But we're bringing the makeup back. People want to do the makeup more, so we're doing all that stuff, and I'll try my best to, roll that information out when I'm ready. When it's ready, I don't want to jump the gun and put out things that are not, done properly. So, the name of the songs are "Make Love" and "Human Nature." If you search up Christina Carroll, they'll pop up. It's only 2 of them.
But they're good. You got to listen to them. No, like people are in the comments going, what? Like, because they didn't know you had a podcast. They didn't know you could sing. That's why I do these shows, you guys. I want you guys to get to know these creators so you can find them wherever you are. You can listen to them. You can support them. And you can get all your content from our creators because they're amazing and they deserve it. So she multi-talented. This is why I'm saying what can't Christina do would be a great show. Try to make her do stuff like teach her new things too. Like, can she cook? Can she crochet? We don't know until we do the show.
As far as cooking, I tell people all the time, the only reason I cook is to keep CPS off my back. I don't enjoy cooking. It's not fun for me. It's not. I wish I could be like Betty Crocker and put the apron on. I just don't care enough. I'm hungry. Feed me something, and that's it. I don't care. Like, I don't have a signature dish. I'll bring the wine. I don't care.
I wanted to say something. Christina, like what you said earlier about how you let, like your kids kind of like make their own path in a way. My mom did that. She was like very, very religious, like Catholic, not really like a churchgoer, but she was very firm in her beliefs. But she saw like that I was not. I just questioned it right off the bat. Like at 6 years old, I was like, I don't understand any of this. This does not make sense to me. And she let me like do my own thing. And I love her so much for that. Like, I have nothing but the like highest amount of respect for her because she allowed me to make my own path. And yeah, like you're doing it right. You are.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, before we close up, I do have to do a real quick commercial break, okay? You guys, if you don't know, you can win this amazing mug. POS FF, okay? It even tells you on the back, so you don't call yourself a Christian. Oh, wait. So you don't actually consider yourself a Christian, but you are a piece of shit fuckface. So if you want to win the Joel POS FF mug, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's absolutely free. Just subscribe and then go to our Deconstruction Junction Discord to my channel and tell me your YouTube name so that I can put you in the drawing for it. And as soon as I get to 500 subscriptions, we're almost halfway there, I will be giving away that amazing mug. You know you want the POS FF mug so that you can drink out your coffee out of it every time somebody says something stupid. Or put some shots in it and drink out of it.
That's always the thing.
Just a thing you could do. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Christina Carroll, thank you so much. I was so excited to do this, and now I'm really glad I did. I really got to know you better, and I just think you're beautiful. I think you're very appreciated in the community. I think you do so much for the community. And I will be jumping on your panel sometime this week, hopefully, to get to be a part of the discussion. And thank you again for being here. Thank you, Selena, Benny, Fee, everybody in chat. I'm sorry this didn't get up on YouTube today, but all of my shows are on YouTube, so you can watch them later. And I'm going to be trying to convert them into a more podcast-friendly thing so that you could also just listen to them later if you want to listen to an interview that you've missed along the way about one of our creators. But thank you guys so much for being here. Remember to join me tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here. 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Central time for Joel and Mezzo. Okay, so join us tomorrow night. All right, I love you guys. Have a good day. See you around the mean streets of TikTok. Bye.
Thank you.